The 90s were a bold and magical time for fashion, when oversized everything, neon windbreakers, and way too much denim ruled the streets. But let's be real. While some brands have managed to cling to the spotlight like a stubborn piece of gum on your shoe, others seem to vanish into thin air, leaving us with wistful memories and a few cringeworthy photos. These brands defined an era, plastered with bold logos and questionable style choices, but they were the pinnacle of cool. Fast forward a couple decades, and most of them have faded into the fashion graveyard. And today, we're here to maybe mourn the long-lost brands that once dominated your closet but are now nowhere to be found. First up, we have a brand that makes you feel like a superstar just by wearing its oversized tees. FUBU, founded in 1992. FUBU, for us, by us, was the epitome of hip-hop culture in the late 90s. You were nobody if you didn't sport a FUBU jersey while trying to master those dance moves from Soul Train. The brand's bold designs and oversized fits became a staple for anyone wanting to channel their inner rapper or just look effortlessly cool. FUBU was a lifestyle that resonated with youth culture and empowerment. However, as the 2000s rolled in, so did the decline of this once mighty giant. Now, it's more of a nostalgic memory than a wardrobe staple. If you ever find a FUBU piece in your closet, you might just want to frame it, because it's practically a museum artifact now, turning our focus to a brand that made casual wear feel like a runway show. Mossimo, founded in 1986, Mossimo was all about stylish yet laid-back vibes that made you look effortlessly cool while lounging at the mall. The brand quickly gained traction in the late 80s and became synonymous with California surf culture. By the late 90s, it was practically everywhere. Think of it as the pizza of fashion. Everyone wanted a slice. Mossimo's designs captured the essence of casual chic with their vibrant colors and comfortable fits. However, as trends shifted and fast fashion took over, Mossimo slowly disappeared from our closets. If you still have a piece lying around, congratulations. You own a relic from the golden era of casual chic. Perfect for those nostalgic throwback days. Next on our list is a brand that brought us those iconic tracksuits with the two back-to-back silhouettes. Kappa, established way back in 1916. Yes, they've been around longer than you think. Kappa hit its stride in the 90s when every athlete and wannabe athlete wanted to look good while sweating it out. With its signature Omni logo, Kappa became a staple in the wardrobes of sports fans and casual wear enthusiasts alike. The tracksuits were everywhere, from football pitches to dance floors, making them a must-have for anyone wanting to channel their inner sporty spice. However, as fashion trends evolved faster than you could say athleisure, Kappa slowly faded into obscurity. If you spot someone wearing Kappa today, give them a nod. They're basically wearing a piece of history. Who knew those back-to-back silhouettes would become such an emblem of nostalgia? Now let's talk about a brand that made its mark on both tennis courts and urban streets. Fila, founded in 1911, Fila initially gained fame for its tennis apparel, but skyrocketed to popularity in the 90s as it became synonymous with sporty chic. Who could forget those chunky sneakers? They were practically the crown jewels of any outfit. Worn by athletes and hip-hop stars alike, Fila's bold designs made it a staple in both sports and streetwear culture. However, as new sneaker brands emerged and trends shifted toward minimalism, Fila lost its luster by the early 2000s. If you find an old pair stashed away somewhere, consider yourself lucky. You've unearthed a treasure. Coming up next is a brand that was practically royalty in the 90s fashion scene. Tommy Hilfiger, launched in 1985. Tommy's red, white, and blue logo became an instant classic among teens and adults alike. The brand was everywhere, from music videos to magazine covers, making it hard to escape its grasp. Tommy Hilfiger was synonymous with preppy style, often seen on the backs of celebrities like Aaliyah and the Fresh Prince himself. It captured the essence of American coolness and youthful rebellion. But as taste changed and fast fashion took hold, Tommy found itself relegated to clearance racks. Who knew being classic could feel so edgy? If you were a fan of casual streetwear back then, you might remember this quirky brand, Chipie. This quirky brand burst onto the scene in the early 80s, but really found its groove in the 90s with colorful trainers and playful designs. Chipie was all about fun fashion that made you feel young at heart, even if your age said otherwise. Known for its vibrant colors and whimsical patterns, it was a go-to for anyone wanting to add some flair to their wardrobe. However, as trends moved towards more minimalist styles, Chipie faded into obscurity by the early 2000s. Those playful designs are reminders of carefree days gone by. Let's not forget about this brand synonymous with outdoor adventures in the 90s. Helly Hansen, founded in 1877. Yes, they've been keeping us warm for centuries. Helly Hansen became a go-to for anyone who dared to brave the elements. Their stylish yet functional outerwear made even the most hardcore hikers look good on trails. From ski slopes to rainy city streets, Helly Hansen had you covered, literally. But as outdoor fashion became more mainstream and competitive brands emerged, Helly Hansen took a back seat by the early 2000s. If you're still rocking their gear today, you're basically a walking history lesson. Those jackets are the badges of adventure waiting to be worn again. Now let's chat about this quintessential British brand that ruled streetwear during the 90s. Joe Bloggs launched in the early 80s, but hitting its stride later on, Joe Bloggs was known for its relaxed styles that made every teen feel effortlessly cool while hanging out at shopping centers. With comfy tees and baggy jeans that screamed, "I'm laid back," Joe Bloggs was every teen's best friend during those formative years. However, as new brands emerged and styles evolved into more polished looks by the early 2000s, Joe Bloggs fell off many radars. Do you have any remnants from this era hanging around your closet today? And now we turn our attention to a brand that was practically synonymous with basketball culture during its heyday. And one, founded in 1993, Andy One exploded onto the scene with flashy sneakers and streetball-inspired apparel, capturing the hearts of aspiring ballers everywhere. By the late 90s, it was nearly impossible to find a court without someone sporting those iconic shoes or rocking an And One jersey. The brand became a cultural phenomenon with its legendary mixtape tour, showcasing streetball talent and jaw-dropping tricks. However, as competition intensified and mainstream athletic brands started to dominate by the early 2000s, and One began to fade into obscurity. If you've still got any, and One gear tucked away somewhere, congratulations. You're holding on to a piece of sports history that once had every kid dreaming big on the courts. Next up is a brand that ruled sneaker culture back when neon colors were all the rage. LA Gear. Founded in 1983, LA Gear truly hit its peak during the fitness crazes of the late 80s and early 90s. With vibrant kicks that screamed personality, everyone was strutting their stuff in these eye-catching sneakers. From aerobics classes to casual outings, LA Gear was the go-to for anyone wanting to make a statement. However, as trends shifted towards more muted tones and minimalist designs by the late 90s, LA Gear quickly became yesterday's news. Let's not skip over this vibrant knitwear brand paired with social consciousness. United Colors of Benetton, founded in 1965, but gaining traction through eye-catching ads during the early 90s, Benetton became famous for its bold colors and messages that challenged societal norms. The brand didn't just sell clothes, it sold ideas, often sparking conversations about race, equality, and global issues. However, as consumer preferences changed towards more minimalist brands by the late 90s and early 2000s, Benetton's bright colors began to dim down too. Next on our list is a casual wear brand that felt like a hug, B.U.M. Equipment launched in the late 80s but peaking during the early to mid 90s with comfy tees and sweatpants galore. B.U.M. Equipment made lounging look chic. Everyone wanted to feel cozy yet stylish while hanging out at home or hitting the mall. With its relaxed fits and playful designs, B.U.M. became synonymous with casual coolness. However, as fast fashion took over and styles evolved towards more fitted looks by late 90s, B.U.M.'s popularity dwindled quickly. Next up is a denim lover's dream that had everyone swooning throughout the late 80s and 90s. Pepe Jeans. Founded in 1973 but hitting peak popularity during this era, Pepe Jeans offered stylish fits that made everyone feel like they were walking straight off a runway, even if they were just heading to class. With their trendy cuts and distinctive branding, Pepe became synonymous with youthful rebellion and casual chic. As denim trends shifted and fast fashion took over by the late 90s, Pepe slowly slipped from our minds and wardrobes. If you still have those classic jeans lying around, congratulations. You've got some serious vintage cred, as they're an iconic piece of fashion history. Now let's chat about merchandise that had every hip-hop fan feeling part of something bigger. Bad Boy Records. Merchandise. With Puff Daddy leading the charge in music during the mid-90s, Bad Boy Records merch was everywhere. From concerts to street corners making waves across urban landscapes. The iconic logo adorned everything from tees to hats, allowing fans to show their allegiance to one of hip-hop's most influential labels. Unfortunately, though, as new labels emerged and trends shifted, the bad boy vibe faded into memory by the early 2000s, too quickly for many fans' liking. Next up is a playful clothing line that had kids everywhere giggling with delight. Jelly Roll shirts launched in early 90s with whimsical designs featuring everything from cartoons to funky patterns. They brought fun into everyday wear like no other brand could at that time. Jelly Roll shirts were all about embracing childhood joy and creativity through clothing. However, as trends shifted towards more serious styles by late 90s, it became harder for Jelly Roll to keep up with evolving tastes, leading them into obscurity soon after. Next up, we've got a brand that screamed extreme, louder than your adrenaline junkie friend. No Fear. Launched in 1989, No Fear was all about that edgy attitude and graphics that could make even your grandma raise an eyebrow. From skateboards to motocross, if you were into anything remotely daring in the 90s, you probably rocked No Fear gear. Their shirts and accessories were adorned with bold slogans and graphics that embodied the thrill-seeking spirit of the era. But just like your high school crush, it faded away by the early 2000s. Now, it's just a punchline in conversations about fashion faux pas. If you happen to find any No Fear apparel lurking in your closet, consider it a relic of an era when adrenaline was king. First up is a brand that brought a touch of Italian flair to casual wear. Forenza emerged in the early 80s as part of the Limited's private label strategy, but it truly gained traction in the 90s. With its romantic Italian name and chic designs, Forenza was all about making everyday fashion feel special. The line featured everything from stylish dresses to cozy sweaters, appealing to young women who wanted to look effortlessly put together. However, as the fashion landscape shifted towards fast fashion and more affordable options, Forenza gradually faded from the spotlight by the early 2000s. Today, they're a nostalgic nod to a time when casual chic was all the rage. Now let's shine a light on a brand that embodies surf culture and youthful energy. Roxy. Founded in 1990 as the female counterpart to Quiksilver, Roxy quickly became synonymous with surf and skate culture. Known for its vibrant colors and playful designs, Roxy offered everything from swimsuits to casual wear that made you feel like you were always on vacation. The brand resonated with young women who wanted stylish yet functional clothing for their active lifestyles. By the late 90s, Roxy was everywhere, from beaches to music festivals, capturing the hearts of a generation. However, as trends evolved and new brands emerged, Roxy began to lose some of its shine by the early 2000s. Now let's take a moment for this Canadian brand that captured hearts and wardrobes across Canada during its peak popularity in mid-90s. Mondetta, known for colorful designs featuring flags from around the world, they brought international flair right into everyday wear, making everyone feel connected globally while looking fabulous too. Mondetta's unique style allowed wearers to showcase their love for travel and diversity without saying a word. Unfortunately, as tastes changed towards simpler styles by late 90s, they began fading out faster than anticipated, leaving behind fond memories instead of clothing racks full of their pieces today. If you've kept any Mondetta items alive, you've preserved some serious fashion history. And last but not least, we have this brand that merged surf culture with urban streetwear like no other before it. Stussy, founded back in 1980, but truly hitting mainstream fame during mid-90s, it became synonymous with laid-back vibes while keeping things edgy at the same time, making waves across youth culture everywhere. Stussy's designs were worn by everyone from surfers to skaters and even hip-hop artists, solidifying its place in fashion history. However, as trends evolved towards more polished looks by the early 2000s, it slowly slipped off many radars, leaving behind loyal fans reminiscing about those good old days. As we wrap up this nostalgic journey through the forgotten fashion of the 90s, we want to hear from you. Which brand brought back the most memories, or did we miss your favorite? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to subscribe for more fun content and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's keep the conversation going. After all, fashion may fade, but the memories we made while rocking those styles last forever.